Live from the Peoria Chamber of Commerce headquarters, you are listening to Breakthrough Thinking. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Dave Isaac, and if it is the first Wednesday of the month, it must be the Peoria Chamber of Commerce Radio Hour, starring Guy Erickson, President and CEO. I love how I give you great credit.
You do. I'm always amazed.
But it is a great credit because, look, this is a great Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, things are going going well.
And I like your shirt.
We're growing. Well, thank you.
I want one.
There you go. Things are going well. We've started a women's networking group that is continuing to grow. They have their next meeting Friday morning here at the Chamber office.
Oh, excellent.
So any women in business here in Peoria are certainly welcome to attend.
Nice.
We're getting somewhere between 30, 35 people at each one of the meetings, and they recently had a mixer about a month ago and had 85 ladies show up.
Oh, that is awesome.
A night of drinking and shopping. So down at
drinking and shopping. That's dangerous to put together.
Down at Park West Mall. So everybody had a great time.
That is incredible, and the audience loves that for sure.
There you go.
There's no doubt about that. So are men allowed to attend?
No men allowed.
Even broadcasters?
Yes. Well, that's what my staff has told me. No boys allowed, so don't even think about coming.
Darn it, because I have a cheer for that? No, we don't want to cheer for that. Okay, but I understand that, women networking. Although some organizations, what is it, NABO? Ever hear of NABO, National Women's Owners, or some national level? I think they do allow men, but not a lot of men attend. I think you're right. A good pure women's networking.
Well, the ladies come here with a completely different outlook on things.
Yeah.
They come first to make friends, and they do business as a byproduct of that
because
that's
they've
created friendships.
Yeah.
So it's where you typically go to a networking event, and people are there to introduce their business or this and that. These ladies come with the intent of making new friends and creating new relationships, and then they do business with each other because they are friends.
So are you trying to tell me that women are more relational than men?
Just a tad. A tad.
Yeah, so are there pure men's networking groups?
No, that would not be allowed.
Yeah, that would be tough. We would definitely want women to attend. I think that's how.
That's called Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There you go.
Or Hooters, right?
There you go.
So anyway, so you got some events coming up?
Well, the next big event coming up that I wanted to share with you today is our golf tournament coming up the end of September. It's what we're referring to as a $10 million shootout golf classic for the Peoria Chamber. It's our primary fundraiser for the year that supports all of the events the Chamber does for businesses here in Peoria and things of that nature. So it's a fundraising event for Chamber things. The $10 million shootout comes from we will have 10 golfers will be randomly picked to have the opportunity to shoot for a hole-in-one. If you get the hole-in-one, you get $1 million.
Oh.
So and
How
theoretically,
many yards is that?
It has to be over 165. It's based on the insurance policy that you buy in case someone does win the $1 million.
Or a lightning strike.
But this year's tournament is out at Trilogy at Vistancia.
Wow.
The golf pro out there is going to, in essence, create a par 3 type thing for us on the 18th hole so that everybody that's out there for dinner on the patio and everything else can watch what's transpiring. He's going to set a tee out in the 18th fairway at whatever the required distance is. Said he was going to paint a great big $ sign in the middle of the fairway so people would know where they had to shoot from. And 10 people will get an opportunity to shoot for a hole-in-one.
Wow.
Shea Holmes has some games on the several par 3s. One, if you get a hole-in-one, you win $10,000. One, I think you get a full set of ping clubs. So there's a number of things on the par 3s. On one of the par 3s, we have Go AZ motorcycles that will have a motorcycle available if you get a hole-in-one. So there's a lot going on.
Very nice.
A lot going on. It should be agreed. There's a big dinner afterwards. So we'll have some entertainment. Got a gentleman who's like a country western singer going to be doing some acoustic work during the cocktail hour and stuff. And then there'll be a dinner and awards and lots of raffle prizes and fun things.
And I'm assuming there's going to be awards for golfers like me who consistently end up in the houses, correct?
Yes. It's called the Broken Glass Award.
Right.
You get to replace that.
So, yeah.
And when is the golf tournament?
It is Friday, September 23rd. There's a shotgun start at 12:30. In years past, we'd had an early morning start. This year, we've gone to 12:30 because then we will have the entire golf course for us.
Oh, wow.
So that way we can have the games going on and everything else.
Yeah.
We don't hold up any other golfers.
Very nice.
There's one game that we're having where it's called Hit the Kayak. There will be a kayak that will be anchored out in a lake. If you can hit it or get the ball in it, you get a raffle ticket, and there's a big drawing.
I don't
for
think
that.
that's politically correct.
I'm pretty sure that was on Happy Gilmore.
So,
Yeah.
But so we anchored out there, and you get a whack at that. So there's all kinds of fun things
How
going
fun.
on.
And how do you sign up? What's the process?
You can just go to the chamber website at peoriachamber.com. There'll be a registration there. That'll give you all the information on the event. You can sign up. Right now, foursomes are $500 through August 26th, I believe.
That's a good deal.
Then they go to $540. But that includes your golf. It includes, the prizes and raffles and everything else, and opportunity to win $1 million.
And you said there was a
and
dinner.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow, that's a really good deal.
Well,
huh?
and you get to hang out with Guy. That's priceless.
Yeah.
There you go.
See that? So you're going to both golf?
I believe so.
Wow.
I believe so.
You're going to have a
good.
private bet, maybe?
So, no.
No.
Again.
I can proudly say that I have hacked up some of the most famous courses in the United States.
Wow.
Again, houses.
So,
Yeah,
houses.
windows, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Wow. So that is a cool deal. That's
Yes.
a really good event.
It should be a terrific event.
And you're
We're
probably
looking forward to it.
anticipating a sellout, I suspect.
We're hoping for 130 golfers. A full field would be 144. We're going to keep it to 130 just so that play doesn't take too long. With it starting at 12:30, we want to make sure that we have time for the shootout at the end of the day while it's still light.
Yeah.
Even though the pro says he can bring lights out onto the golf course if we need it. So, because you're talking the end of September, so I'm not sure when the sun sets. I think we figured out it's somewhere right around 7 o'clock or so.
Oh, probably.
So we want to make sure there's time. So we're going to keep the field to 1:30, 1:32, something like that.
Very
to
nice.
have a full field, and we should have a great afternoon. It should be a lot of fun.
Great event. Any other things going on that you want to mention?
No, the next thing after that is coming up is our Wine and Cigars Under the Stars. That is a fundraiser for the 2 junior ROTC programs, one at Cactus High School, one at Peoria High School. Each year, in conjunction with Credit Union West, the Peoria Chamber provides one graduating cadet from each high school a scholarship of $2,000.
Oh, nice.
And they can spend it on whatever they want. They can apply toward tuition for college. They can go buy a car. They can do whatever they like.
That is cool
So,
stuff.
that's the next event. There'll be wine tasting and then cigars, and we're right now in the midst of finalizing where the event will take place. Just because it's sometimes, depending on where you have it, you can't have smoking on the premises. So it limits us a little bit where we can have it. But got a couple of great irons in the fire, so we're waiting for that to be finalized, and that should be another big event.
Wow, wine tasting. That's a fun event.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, and not only that, but for the people smoking cigars or whatever, outside with them, there will be like bourbon. You can sample bourbon. You can sample scotch. So there'll be a few higher end liquors out there that you can just throw a donation into the hat.
And then they go shopping, right?
And, yeah, there you go. but that should be a real good event. We're hoping right now. I'm working with some people from Luke Air Force Base. We'd really like to get the new commander out there to be our guest speaker.
That'd
evening.
be nice.
I don't know if he does those kind of things, but I'm reaching out to people this week. I have a meeting on Friday with some people. I'd like to get Luke a little more involved in it with us. It's great for the scholarship for the ROTC kids, but I've kind of got a mental vision of what I'd like this to become, and I'd like to upscale the event a little bit, make it more cocktail attire, a little nicer event, things of that nature. So gets a greater military presence, get the ROTC kids out there in their dress uniforms and things like that. So
excellent.
It should be good.
Very
wow,
nice.
I love that. You guys are going to have a good time.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Is
we'll have
it-
to get you down there. Come join us.
September 23rd. Let me check out.
Well, September 23rd is a golf tournament, and
the wine and
November
cigar.
4th is wine and cigar.
Ah, yeah.
It's the Friday
Perfect
before Veterans Day.
I like Riesling. You like Riesling?
Not a big Riesling, not a big wine guy, but if I were, I'd be a Chardonnay.
My ex-wife was a very good wine person.
Huh.
Wine.
Whiny.
I won't go anywhere near that. I tend to want to turn it into a tequila sampling thing, but
Yeah,
they
that would be
refrain
good.
from that.
That would be cool.
That would be my
That brings
drink
out
of
a whole
choice.
different guy.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. So sounds good.
Wow. Well, Guy, thank you so much for
You're
stopping
very welcome.
by.
Thanks for giving me a couple minutes. I
Of
think you're going to
course.
enjoy today with
Oh, yeah.
Sunburst Landscaping.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
have
think you'll find they're a
great,
terrific company. And
two great guests,
There you
no
go.
doubt.
Sounds
and,
good.
Well, thank you so much.
You're
and,
very welcome. Have a great day.
Well, thank you. And we'll have then Jenny.
Thanks, Dave.
Come, thank you. And we're transferring the headset. We call it the headset. Thanks, guys. All right. So we have here, right on, of course, the Peoria Chamber of Commerce Radio Hour, we have two great people from Sunburst. Is it called Sunburst Landscaping or just Sunburst?
Sunburst Landscaping Incorporated.
Excellent. And you got a great website, by the way. I'm looking at it. It looks like Chase Field, the first thing I see.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
is a really cool deal where the D-backs play, of course. We have manager Mark Gabbard and Jenni Burgamy.
Burgamy, yes. Sir.
Wow, I said it like in French. Okay. And you're
Oui,
the
oui.
marketing director.
Yes, sir.
This is great. I love how she calls me what, Greg? Sir. She calls me sir. No one ever calls me sir, unless you're from Georgia. Are you from Georgia?
I'm from Georgia.
Oh, my God. How did I know that? I don't even know how I knew that. Anyway, so talk a little bit, Mark, about Sunburst Landscaping, what you do, what you specialize, any specialties, how long you've been around.
Yeah, my uncle Don Gabbard, it's my dad's brother. He started this company in 1976, and it's a pretty neat story. He talks about how he's working in another industry, then wanted to start hauling rock on the side to make a little extra money, and then started getting into landscaping officially. And cool story was he took the family car and literally traded it in to buy a dump truck.
Oh, wow.
So they were going to the grocery store in the dump truck. My cousin, who's the vice president, Noelle Boothby, she was in a car seat in that dump truck.
Oh, man, this is quite a story.
Yeah, and that's how Don started it. And again, Gabbards are pretty renowned for their work ethic, and Don definitely exudes that. Mentioned earlier that he's hands down one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my life. And that work ethic, he's built a corporation now where we're in our 40th year. We are a 4-division company with commercial landscape, commercial turf, residential landscape, and residential turf. We've also taken on a handful of products here lately where we become dealers and distributors for Bison, which is hardwood decking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, stuff along those lines. But what's pretty neat is Don has done some really cool projects all across this state. There's really nowhere in this state you can't go to where if we're all together, he's like, yeah, we did that school, we did that bank, we did that place, we did that, and anywhere from Yuma up to the Four Corners.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and some of the coolest installs we did, and I had the pleasure of working on this project when I was in college because I used to come back and work for Don in the summers because we would have such big projects that had to be done in timelines to where I can make a good amount of money in 2 months and go live off it in college. And so I got to work on the Diamondbacks stadium project that we did. So we did the landscaping all there at Diamondbacks, and he's done multiple projects at Cardinal Stadium for Super Bowl improvements, installations. Luke Air Force Base, we've done 3 or 4 projects out there. We're getting ready to head back out there again in a couple weeks. We're getting ready to do our second project here in a couple weeks at Sky Harbor Airport for terminal improvements but just a lot of really cool projects. We're right now wrapping up 11 schools here in the Peoria Unified School District that we knocked out in the last 2.5 months. Just improvements, upgrades, stuff along those lines. A lot of high schools, a lot of apartment complexes, things along those lines.
So very well recognizable companies that you're doing with, from the D-backs to the Cardinals. Their stadium. Is that just because he has such a great reputation and he's been in the business so long that they know him?
And that's what it is. He's built a reputation that he does what he says he's going to do. Contracting here in the state is very difficult. You really have a wide range of integrity, ability, because we are a very watered-down state when it comes to just contracting because of the amount of expansion that we have here in this city. So his reputation is what has allowed him to continually be the go-to guy for these general contractors. Last summer was a great example. We had a large apartment complex we were doing on behalf of Arizona State University, which was brand new student housing. Well, the general contractor out of the South got out here and they really fell behind on the projects with some of their subs. And so Don was the person who came in because we're always the last person in. and really closed it out. And they were extremely happy because they were able to meet their deadlines, not accumulate liquidated damages. But he's willing to go that extra mile. And what's cool about Don, again, he's 62, 63 years old. He's out there running equipment, digging ditches. He's doing it himself.
Wow.
And so that's the reputation that he's developed to where contractors know if we go with Sunburst, it's going to get done. And it's going to get done with quality, and if there's any issues, it will get taken care of.
So a hands-on owner, which is
absolutely.
People love that when they see the owner out there and real active. I mean, you just got to love it because you feel not only special, but you feel that, hey, things will get done correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
for us, I mean, being family, I mean, like I said, it's my uncle, my cousin's the vice president.
Nice.
Jenny's our marketing director. She's my fiance. I mean, we really look at that work ethic, and any time that we feel like we want to get lazy or I don't want to go in today or I don't want to go this extra mile, in walks Don, dirt head to toe, and he's been out there in 115-degree heat, and you're going, I'm staying, I'm going to get this done.
Wow.
So that really
Motivating.
breeds that work ethic throughout the entire company.
How many employees do you have?
We're up to about 70 to 75 now.
Oh, that's good size, isn't it?
Yeah, our motto is we want to be a small company with a big portfolio. So we want to be able to keep our company at a size where we can manage it the way we want it managed, with control over quality, and how things get done, and not get too big to where it gets out of control.
Yeah.
But at the same time, be sizable enough where we can tackle the stadiums and stuff along those lines.
And you can compete straight up with any of the big boys.
Absolutely.
Or the bigger, I shouldn't say big boys, but bigger companies, if there are some. I guess there are, right?
Yeah, there's some other companies out there that are very good. They've chosen to get a little bit bigger than we have. We could very easily become that big if we wanted to. We have specifically chosen not to because we really want to keep that family touch and
That's
that personal
important.
touch in the company.
You know, that's interesting because I'm a founding partner of this CPA firm. This was in Century City in the LA area. And it was interesting that we grew so quickly in 4 years from zero, just starting out, to 800 clients roughly and 30 employees. But that was very quickly. So what we noticed, and is what you're describing, is that some of our clients started being a little upset, saying, hey, I never see you guys anymore. You started the company, the partner. I just see these college graduates. And that is a problem trying to expand when you expand too quickly or too big.
Yes.
Because then they feel disconnected.
Yeah, not being prepared for expansion.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Couldn't put you behind the 8 ball in a hurry.
Yeah, it really can, and so I can relate to what you're saying, and that sounds like you have a really good group of people. And how do well, let's jump to Jenny for a second here, marketing director.
It's just a title.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. I want a title. So what do you do as a marketing director?
Well, really what we're trying to do, a lot of focus, like you said, with Don being with the commercial, there's a lot of relationship there. What we've really been focusing on this year is building our residential portfolio to match the commercial. We have an amazing product with Easy Turf. We're the authorized dealer in Arizona. We're the only people in Arizona who can install it, but contracted through Easy Turf. It's a synthetic grass product. It's one of the best in the market, if not the best in the market. And making consumers here who are understanding if you want green grass without ridiculous water bills in your backyard, we're the company to go to. It's going to cost you, we're not the cheapest thing in the market, but it's worth it to get it done right the first time. And like you were saying, having that integrity, having that solidness behind your product, behind your company, we're trying to just really inform consumers. So my thing that I've been focusing on is just making the connections, getting the word out, trying to build the relationships with the Peoria Chamber of Commerce, with the Landscape Contractors Association, with different groups around, just to build the value in the residential market so that it's at least pulling its own weight with the commercial as well.
That's awesome. Let me ask you about Easy Turf, since for any of those who just moved, like myself, that has an empty backyard full of dirt.
Yeah.
The advantage, disadvantages of Easy Turf.
Well, he knows a lot more about the product than I do, but what I can tell you is, like we said, I'm from Georgia. Everywhere you go in Georgia is green, and it's beautiful, and it's fun to walk in barefoot. And my opinion of synthetic grass has never really been super favorable. You walk on it and it's crunchy. You walk on it and it's hot. It's just not real. With Easy Turf being introduced to it, seeing what it is, it's as close to real as you're going to get. And the benefits of having something in your backyard that you don't have to cut, you don't have to put pesticides on that are bad for your skin, bad for your kids, its ability to stay cooler. It's actually sold me on the idea of having synthetic grass in your yard. So as far as features, that's really his thing. But for me, I never believed it was a quality, something that I wanted until Easy Turf was something I heard about and knew about.
So what you're saying, I think, is that Easy Turf is just another brand. You can buy other synthetic turfs.
Correct.
But Easy Turf, maybe describe it more, Mark, that it sounds like it's more closely resembling natural grass.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, artificial turf right now is the hottest thing in the market. The hottest thing. I mean, it is absolutely exploded. We have become the number 3 market in the United States for artificial turf behind Vegas and Southern California.
Really?
So in our market specifically, it's exploded. At home shows 5 years ago, there was 4, maybe 5 of us that were there representing artificial turf. At the last big home show, not the one in July, but the one in the spring, there was 52 booths with artificial turf in it.
Wow.
Yeah, so wide range. With that wide range comes, again, what we talked about earlier, wide range of integrity with contractors, wide range of quality of products. The biggest thing that people really need to understand is we live in a landscape where it's been 115 degrees for 7 days straight here. Right. And we've had one of the hottest summers we've had in a long time. Remember, all artificial turf is real pretty plastic, whether it's mine or the next guy's. It's pretty plastic. The quality of that pretty plastic and how you protect that becomes a big difference, because if you take a child's red plastic toy, throw it out in the sun this last week, in about a day it turns pink. It fades, it disintegrates, it gets cracked. So again, if turf is real pretty plastic, the quality of that plastic is incredibly integral, especially when it comes to your investment. You're going to invest in artificial turf whether you go cheap or whether you go with the good stuff. The difference is how many times you're going to keep investing in it over the next 8 to 20 years, or can you invest in it one time, be done with it, and get a return on that investment. So when it comes to the quality of that plastic, that's where we differentiate ourselves. Our manufacturer is Field Turf. Field Turf's the number 1 manufacturer worldwide. We blew right past AstroTurf, which is the originator about 6-7 years ago. We just recently within the last month, we put AstroTurf out of business. They're closing their doors.
Oh, wow.
Yep. They copyright infringements. They were trying to copying some of our technologies because, again, we became the number 1.
Wow.
We sued them. We won. They're going out of business. They're done.
But the Houston Astros will still be around. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, actually.
Yeah. So with that being said, we have become the number 1 manufacturer worldwide. And so we do have the number 1 turf in the world. We have more artificial turf in the ground worldwide than all the other manufacturers in the world combined.
So how would you describe it as different? It lasts longer, I suspect. It doesn't, the way it's made, maybe it doesn't heat up in the sun as much, or how does this work? Great questions,
because people are really now becoming really educated in the turf industry. They're becoming smart, they're doing their research, but again, their research is only based on what people are telling them. So with our product, a couple things that make us vastly different, first and foremost, is the drainage system that we came up with. We originally invented this drainage system called MaxFlow for the National Football League, where we've got 22 installations in the NFL, 175 plus installations NCAA, FIFA Worldwide, Major League Baseball.
Wow.
It's not even close to the number 2 guy when it comes to the number 1 turf product in the world for athletics professionally.
Oh, my.
The reason that's important is we understand we're not putting football fields in people's backyards, but when you're developing technology for multi-billion-dollar industries like that, they're looking for what looks the most like real grass, behaves the most like real grass, drains the best, functions the best, lasts the longest, the most durable, and all those different things. So we then adapt that technology to our residential line. So, for instance, MaxFlow drainage was invented for the NFL because Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots, those high precipitation parts of our country, they were having problems with puddling and ponding because everybody else in the market, just like we used to have a hole punch drainage system, which means there's a hole punched in the back of it about every 4 to 6 inches apart. The fastest draining hole punch system in the market is slower than 60 inches per hour. That's slower than real grass. So when we get a monsoon like we did yesterday, it's flooding, it's backing up on patios, and it drains worse than real grass. Well, with MaxFlow, We developed a non-absorbent, 100% permeable system that has hundreds of thousands of microscopic holes throughout the entire back. So it permeates throughout the entire backing. Penn State University, independent research has proven we have the fastest drainage in the market at over 250 inches per an hour. So a couple things where that becomes a big deal is, one, yesterday. Already had clients calling this morning where we put in turf in the last month or two going, holy cow, I knew your drainage system was good, but we just got 2 inches of rain, and mine's already gone.
Oh, wow.
It puddled for about half a second, half a minute, and as soon as the rain stopped, it went away. So it becomes big in our monsoon situation that we have here, but where it becomes a huge deal is for pet owners. Because you got to think, if you've got a hole punch drainage system, turf has notoriously been known not to be pet friendly. With that hole punch drainage system, it only drains in that hole. So if you can't teach a dog to pee over a hole it can't see, it's no different than that dog peeing on carpet, and you can't get it out. So your bathroom becomes an outhouse. Your backyard becomes an outhouse for dogs.
Oh.
With that drainage system being 100% permeable, it's the easiest, most efficiently maintained product to where it's now a pet-friendly product. Now, we mentioned at that one home show there was 52 booths with turf in it. Well, the National Dog Pet Expo that comes to town twice a year, when we go to there, we're the only artificial turf company that's ever there.
Oh, wow.
Everybody else knows they do not have a pet-friendly product.
So how is that pet-friendly? So would you then, you can, like, put your hose and wash everything? Is that how it works?
Exactly. It becomes a simple rinsable system. So, for instance, my backyard, 945 square feet went in last November. I've got a big 120-pound Rottweiler. And from November all the way to June, I never had to touch it one time except just to pick up her dog feces. Because we had enough rain that it would rinse through, stuff along those lines. With hole punch system, it doesn't matter how much rain you get because it sits in those pockets.
Right.
Now, once June hit, now with the summer hitting and no rain, it becomes a simple rinsable system. So I'm out there rinsing it. It goes through. I don't have an issue.
Now, how about you mentioned with pesticides or so, like a lot of people have, especially where I'm living now, you know, it's by it's in the desert with these mountains, and so there's scorpions, there's a bunch of stuff. So you have people have, you know, companies that come out and do, you know, the whole backyard. Mm-hmm. Can you put pesticides still on that?
You can.
Is that advisable?
Our product you can. Again, because the level of the quality of the plastic and how it's protected. It's all been tested with pesticides, termite control, and weed control, and none of that's going to hurt the system. It's also been tested with paint thinner.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually had customers who install up in Cave Creek. We installed turf. His painter came, wheeled his cart across, had paint on the wheel, and left paint marks on his turf.
Oh.
We already told him it's tested with paint thinner. You can get it right off, and he did.
I got you. So, I mean, or is it a natural repellent against pests anyway?
It is, because...
So you don't really need the pesticides on it, or would you?
Well, that's a great question, because when artificial turf goes in and real sod comes out, you've now eliminated the food and the water source for pests. So those pests are going to gravitate away from the artificial turf, which is critical, especially when it comes to scorpions.
Yeah, if there's no food, they go somewhere else.
Yeah, and you don't want your kids out there playing where scorpions are hanging out. But now, this is what people don't think about. With that hole punch drainage system where you've got huge gaps where there's no drainage, if you have kids out there playing or you have a party at your house, you're spilling beer, wine, soda, crackers. Right. You spill anything inside the turf, if you can't get it out, what's coming back in? Yeah. Scorpions, ants, fleas, ticks, they're all coming back into that system.
So it's a natural pest control.
Yep.
In a way.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's quite fascinating. I had no idea. So, and you mentioned, you know, walking on other type of turf, it gets hot. Is it hot in the summer at 115 degrees with this type of turf?
The biggest difference in our turf versus the other turf is it's nylon free. So nylon is the really expensive, pretty plastic he was referring to that gets that heats up and gets really, really hot to walk on. Oh. That's where your heat comes from. Okay. So by having a product that's been made without nylon, it's probably propylene and polyethylene, is that right?
Correct.
That make up the structure of it.
So what does that feel like?
It feels like real grass. I mean, it will get warmer than natural grass. If you walk on it barefoot, you can tell.
Not third-degree burns.
But not third-degree burns, not second-degree burns. I mean,
not even first.
We actually visited my home state last year, and we were I went to grad school at a school called Mercer. And we tried to walk across that field barefoot because it was a beautiful new complex. It was so pretty. It was both of us and both of our sons, and we walked out on it. We were on it for 3 seconds, and we were like,
too hot.
We were racing to get back
and
into our shoes.
And that was natural grass.
That was another synthetic grass product made out of nylon.
But here you can stand there and not get burned.
You're going to feel it. You're going to know that it's warmer than natural. You're going to feel it. It's warmer than standing on pavers. And it's not as warm as standing on pavers. So if you stand on the synthetic Easy Turf, if you're standing barefoot on pavers and it gets hot, you can go onto the Easy Turf and cool off.
Wow!
So it's going to be noticeable. But
that
it's
is very cool. And
okay.
Yeah. And you can do almost anything you want on it. I mean, it's durable, so you can
son rides a hoverboard on it. So
but play volleyball, football. Well, of course. I mean, you installed it in baseball and football, so that's sturdy.
Well, that's another thing that people really like about us. So, for instance, Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, you're familiar with him, the biggest name in the pet industry.
Yeah, he
has our turf at his pet facility.
Oh,
he originally installed a hole punch drainage system at his facility and did not like it, and he was tearing it out. Wow. He ended up finding out about our product. We've now been there for 3 years, and they're getting ready to install an additional 6,000 to 8,000 square feet at his facility. A couple of the things he liked. One, he liked that drainage.
Sure.
He also liked that being nylon-free meant that we were softer. So one of the reasons we're the number one athletic product in the world is because when athletes fall on our turf, they don't take half their skin off with it.
How about arena football? Ever consider?
Arena football, I don't know. I think they still use the tight carpet. The reason being is because it has to be portable. So they got to be able to tear it up.
Oh, this isn't portable.
Right. Most of your athletic installations are going to be portable because you want it to be just like real grass.
Now let's see. A backyard, let's say, I don't know the measurements. Let's say 60 by 90.
Okay.
Is that a big backyard?
That's a very big backyard.
60 by 90.
Yeah, well, that's putting wall-to-wall turf. Or are you going to want other landscaping features?
It wouldn't be. Yeah. Well, how much would something like that cost? I don't know if it's 60 by 90. Yeah, I think it is actually, or something like that.
If you did wall-to-wall turf,
it could be 60 by 40.
60 by 90 is a huge backyard. That's 5,400 square feet.
That's an acre.
Yeah,
then that can't be.
Right, your average backyard installation
maybe
is going to be
60 by 45,
between 800 to 1,200 square feet.
Yeah,
that's bigger than an acre, isn't it? An acre, 4,400 square feet.
Yeah, 5,400 is a very big area.
Yeah, that's probably not it. 60. How about 60 by 45?
You're at 2,700 square feet.
I think that might be. All right.
And again, that's big, but you'd be right around 17, 18 grand.
Okay, if you did all of it.
Yep.
So if you did and it wouldn't be all of it.
It wouldn't be all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe half of it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that people love about our company. We're the only full contracting specialist that's also a turf dealer for a major manufacturer, which means that we do not buy our turf from somebody else. We are the dealer. But we also do all of our own installations, and we're a full contracting company.
Which is good.
Yeah. So
One stop.
Yep.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yep. Full landscape design work. So in a situation like that with 5,400 square feet, unless you're independently wealthy, we're not putting that much turf in there. So we have the ability to come in and create a full design for that backyard with trees, shrubs.
So you put it here, but here put a jacuzzi or...
Yep. And not have to subcontract everything out.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Yeah. I think I could refer you some good business.
We'll take it. Bring it on.
Everything's new. Yeah. Well, anyway, but there's a lot of development everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
Wow, fascinating. I had no idea about this. And this is how long has this been around, this particular turf, Easy Turf that you call it?
Okay, Easy Turf. Easy Turf is the residential or landscape line of Field Turf. Field Turf's the athletic line. So Field Turf's the manufacturer. Field Turf is owned by Target, which is one of the biggest textile corporations in the world.
Not Target.
Right, not Target. Target.
They took the name that protects it.
They're also out of Georgia because all the cool things come from Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Real Diamond. Diamond Real.
Diamond Rio, yes.
Meet in the Middle.
Meet in the Middle. That's
Old Georgia Pine.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs of all time.
Oh,
isn't that phenomenal?
Great song.
Oh, I wish I wrote that song. No, I mean that is just significant.
It's a great song.
Yeah. So you're a big Diamond Real fan?
I saw them in concert in a fair in Georgia one time, actually.
Are they still around? Or
I think so.
It was kind of neat when we went on our Georgia trip last summer. We did a 2-week road trip with our boys.
Oh, nice.
And we're driving around Georgia, and she's like, "You know that one song?" That's what he's talking about. You know that one song? Because we're both big country music fans.
You mean the meet in the middle?
Yeah, and everywhere we go, she's like, oh, yeah, that's where so-and-so's from. That's what that song's about.
That is so
wow,
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, how fun is that?
Yeah.
Wow, that is really, really cool. So Easy Turf is the residential part.
Correct.
And that's what you're trying to build up, evidently, you were saying.
Correct.
So how's that going?
Spectacular. I mean, we've got 5 crews that go out every day, both commercially and residentially.
Oh, wow.
And our schedule's booked through the end of September already.
Really?
Yeah, so we're consistently staying anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks out, depending upon the time of year.
Oh, my goodness. Is that because of the marketing director?
We're going to say
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it sounds like you just got a complete sensational company, excellence in every area, and certainly your uncle probably is a demonstrable, just a phenomenal work ethic guy. You know, by example, he sets the tone, right?
Well,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that goes to the lead foreman for Sunburst has been with the company since 1985. There are multiple people who work there who've been there for 25, 30 years. They've been around for a long time. And even
that's not normal.
In
our industry.
Yeah.
No,
I would believe that. Yeah, I agree.
Then we even have like this super young guy. He's awesome. But he came in and he worked on a couple of different crews and he's trying to find his niche with the company. And he goes out one day with Don. And he came back and he's like, I learned more today. I want to be on Don's crew as long as I can so that I can learn. I worked harder, but I will learn more today than I've learned anything else I've ever done.
Oh, my gosh. That is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say the key to our success is there's a lot of companies who can go out there and do good work. There's a lot of companies that can go out there and nail an install. What I tell people is I can go to Home Depot and pick up 3 guys, and I can make your yard look amazing when I leave. What's it going to look like in 5 years?
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, what's it going to look like in 10 years, more importantly, 15 years? We have a customer that we're now doing their 4th home through Sunburst Landscaping. My uncle did their first house in the early 80s.
Oh, wow.
And then we did their 2nd home, their 3rd home, and now they want us to come do their 4th home. The biggest part of our success is when mistakes happen, when things don't go as planned, people are comfortable that their investment is taken care of because they're not going to have somebody walk away,
right?
Have somebody try to put them behind the 8 ball or make up lies. We're in a situation where when things don't go right, Don wants to make sure that his reputation is secure. And this last weekend was a prime example. We had a job in DC Ranch, beautiful backyard. We did some renovations, turned out great. There was some subtle things on the job that weren't done correctly. Don himself went out on Saturday on his own time, met with the customer. Now, mind you, we got 11 schools going on that we're trying to get done. Don took time on Saturday to go meet with the customer. She showed him the issues. He said, ma'am, I will personally bring somebody out here, and he and I will take care of every single issue because we want to make sure that your $10,000 investment is what you want it to be.
So you can't buy that type of goodwill.
Nope.
There's so many horror stories on smaller landscape companies, you know, that they come, they do partial, you can't find them again. I think that happened to me, actually, in California. I bought this big house on a hill and stuff in Moore Park. It's a nice house.
Up in the valley.
Yeah. You know where Moore Park is?
Yeah, I lived in the L.A. area for about 13 years.
Yeah, it's actually in I think Ventura County. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I hired someone, and I think they put cement down, and next thing I know, he disappeared. That's all he did.
Yeah.
So we had just some cement.
Yeah, we have a funny, probably it's not funny, but the funniest story or weirdest story for us was one of my sales reps, Carlin Smith. He went to a job, pulled up, and there's already turf there. So he's kind of like, why am I here? So walks up to the door. He's kind of looking, and he notices that there's pieces of turf missing.
Oh.
So he's like, what's this all about? Knocks on the door. The customer ends up telling him, well, he had this guy come out, and he had the best turf with the best warranty and all the gimmicks that everybody talks to you about. She said, I should have looked him up. I should have done my research. I should have seen if he was licensed, all these different things. The guy installed turf, ended up bringing different types of turf and tried to patch it in.
Oh.
And then when he got called out on it, he disappeared. And then about 2 weeks later, this customer saw somebody out in her front yard cutting turf out of her yard.
Oh.
I went out and spoke to him and said, what are you doing? Oh, well, the person who installed this said that I could come take these pieces out. So that person was now cutting pieces out of her yard, taking it to install at somebody else's house.
Oh, my gosh.
She finally got fed up, said, don't ever come back to my house. So now she has a yard that's been sitting there for 2 years with triangles of turf cut out.
Oh.
And mismatched turf, sinkholes, and it's just been a disaster for her.
Sinkholes?
Oh, man, all kinds of just...
Oh.
All kinds of things. Like I said, when you're going to hire a contractor here in the state, be careful. And we have so many snowbirds that are from different parts of the country, they really don't understand that you have to be careful out here. Because, again, all kinds of different levels of integrity, quality, different types of people. And so when you're going to hire somebody, cheap is expensive. Cheap is expensive.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep.
How do you get a sinkhole, by the way?
Just the turf base wasn't compacted correctly
And it creates
stuff like that.
and it starts sinking down.
Yeah, just a little bit of a sinkhole, nothing like you would think of an earthquake or something like that.
Like up in Sedona, all of a sudden you're falling through the earth and you come out on the other side.
Yeah, but we try to impress upon people. They come from different parts of the country, and you get the Midwesterners who are just amazing people. People from the South who are just amazing people, so trusting.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many stories that I hear.
Yeah.
I hired this guy, and this is what happened. I hired this guy,
I
and
believe
this is
it.
what happened.
And I agree. I love how you said that cheap is expensive. As a CPA, I've seen it many, many times. Just quick example that supports what you're saying. This a client he's trying to decide on whether he should spend $600 on his tax return or $400, a difference of $200.
Yeah.
So he picked the $400 and came back to me 2 years later and said, I'm getting audited. I look at his return. I go, what did your CPA do? And she goes, I don't know. I go, whatever she did, it's completely wrong with passive loss rules.
Wow.
There's real estate, some complexities.
Yeah.
I said, you're going to lose. I'll represent you, but you will lose. I guarantee it's this bad. And so it cost that that $400 tax return, adding in my fee, extra $5,000.
Wow.
Yep.
Big difference.
Yep.
And I
Huge difference.
totally agree.
Yep.
And that's the case almost in any industry,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Cheap is expensive.
Yeah, if you're looking for a deal, you could find it.
You can always find it. I agree. How long does this Easy Turf last for residential?
Another great question. Again, quality of plastic, how you protect it.
So there's things you got to do to keep it.
No, it's
protected.
things that we do in advance when we manufacture that make it of high quality. Penn State University studies, again, they do all the major research on artificial grass, independent, non-sponsored studies. According to their research, we're going to get 15 to 20 years out of our product in the Arizona, Texas, New Mexico sun. Okay, 15 to 20 years. One of the ways we accomplish that is, one, we use a high-quality plastic. Polypropylene polyethylene is a more expensive plastic than nylon. Nylon is cheap. Nylon is resilient. That's why it was the original resource that people still use today, because you can find somebody to install for $5 a square foot. Cheap is expensive. It's cheap for a reason, because you can make it cheap. Now, Colorado, where they have mild weather, not a problem. Arizona, 115, direct sunlight all day for 3 months straight, huge issue. Because now nylon is a heat-retaining, heat-radiating material. Okay, so common sense will tell you anything that will hold on to heat and retain it is going to degrade much faster over time than something that will release it and let it go. So polypropylene polyethylene does not retain or radiate heat. It's still going to get warm, like Jenny alluded to before. It will get warm. We're not trying to lie to people and tell you it's cool to the touch.
But not like hot.
It's not going to scorch you. It's not going to hurt you like nylon will. Nylon will put a small child in the ER with burn blisters.
That's bad.
Hands down. Hands
So
down.
if you have young kids, you certainly don't want nylon.
Or
No.
pets.
Or pets.
Yeah, or pets.
You're
Pets
right.
won't touch it. They won't go around it. Pets are smart. Dogs are smart. They won't touch it. They won't go around it. But also that nylon radiates. So if that nylon is within 15 feet of your home on windows, that heat radiation is going to affect your electric bill. It's also going to
Interesting
affect
point.
your comfort level if you're sitting on the patio, just trying to enjoy a
That's,
drink and hang out.
really good. Very good. Now, let's say you have to replace it after 15 years. Is it easy to replace? You just pull it out?
Yeah,
or?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And that again goes along to the quality of plastic we just discussed. How we protect it is another big deal.
Yeah.
We became the only vertically integrated manufacturer of turf about 7 years ago, which means we're the only manufacturer that manufactures every part of what we do. We make our own yarn. We make our own turf. We apply our own backing. Other people will subcontract out their yarn to a yarn extruder. So, for instance, we used to get our yarn from a company called Tincata, major yarn manufacturer for turf and carpet. Their fibers were not holding up in the Arizona sun. As a result, they were not honoring their warranty. We sued them. We won a lawsuit. With that money, we became our own yarn extruder. Now, the reason I mention that is because two of our major competitors in the market right now, they get their turf from Tincata. They get their yarn from Tincata. So we are still replacing, because of our warranty, we are still replacing installs from 8-9 years ago where the Tincata fibers weren't holding up.
I gotcha.
Now, becoming our own yarn extruder with our own factories where we have our own quality control, we developed a manufacturing process where our UV protection is impregnated into the fiber. So it's a part of the chemical structure of the fiber itself when we first manufacture a yarn, as opposed to a post-manufactured spray-on like a Scotch Guard for a couch.
Wow.
So as a result, back to Penn State studies, we're going to fade at less than 0.5% per year. Consistent fade, never needs to be reapplied, so it's not going to cost you more money down the line. At 0.5% per year, in 20 years, that's a 10% fade, and scientifically, that's still not visible to the human eye.
That's pretty cool. Now, you mentioned $5 a square foot for nylon-type products. How about your product?
We're going to sit anywhere from we have products at $650 up to $895 a square foot installed. The difference is going to be the density of the products and stuff along those lines. We bring all of our samples out to the customers. We break down.
Like how thick?
Exactly. Yeah. We'll spend an hour and a half in somebody's home. We'll get there. We measure. We educate. We don't sell. We educate people on our product, on the industry in general, and then we allow them to make a decision that's best for themselves.
Wow.
We have found when we educate people with the science and the just the information that we have, they're always coming back to us because
I'm sure.
Yeah, because other companies come in, they spend 15 minutes there, and you're supposed to be able to break down a bid specifically with every aspect of the job taken into account in 15 minutes. That same rep that I told you about, Carlin, he went on an install 3 weeks ago. The guy was in town for one day, had everybody showing up that day. Two other companies showed up at the same time. One company was there for 10 minutes. The other one was there for 15. Carlin was there for an hour and a half, signed the contract on the spot.
Wow.
Because he spends time with them. He looks at every aspect of the job. We actually invest in our customers. We're not just there to try to sell you something and get out.
Well, what I've heard, we're coming up to the end of the show here. However, what I've heard that I like the best, well, there's so many things, but I will have to say I really love the fact that you're pretty much you're such a stable company that the integrity comes to my mind. That if something isn't quite what you think, you are there. You don't disappear. Your owner demonstrates and sets the tone for complete excellence. And to me, that is like worth almost. That's priceless. I mean, when you have someone like that.
Somebody did a study. It was I don't have exact figures, so I'm just paraphrasing. But it was in the last 2 years how many turf companies had gone out of business in Arizona.
Oh,
and
sure.
the numbers are huge
bet
because
it
they
is.
just register under a different trade name.
Yeah.
And you can't find them 2 years later.
So to me, that's the number one, and then number two is the quality of your product. Obviously, that's top notch. But that number one, to have people that in today's world that take accountability and responsibility, you don't see that all the time. I'm being generous, but right? But when you have someone that is dedicated, determined, customer service, and just ensures and guarantees, hey, no matter what, we're here for you. Yeah, that's your company, right? How could it not be, right? From my point of view.
Well, there's that saying that you can tell the real integrity of a man by the way he treats his subordinates.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
It's the true statement to who Don Gabbard is. He treats people who work for him in the field, in the office, and it creates that everybody wants to live up to his standard.
Well, the key people that he's put in place, everybody's got the same level of passion. So.
Wow, he's getting a standing ovation.
Yeah.
He's pretty great.
That is incredible. We pretty much went over residential, and it would be sort of cool to have a part two maybe on commercial, because
Yeah.
that's fascinating to me as well.
We have we talk about the level of passion. It's very, you can find that in family members to come in with that passion. Finding people outside the family is difficult. We found somebody in Joe Matoski, who runs our commercial division for turf, who just an amazing, godly man who is just as passionate, like he's my brother or he's one of Don's sons or what have you. And he would be great to come in and have and talk about the commercial.
Well, I think that'd be great because I love companies that demonstrate excellence. And in fact, we have a Standard of Excellence award that we do for companies that we feel fit that fit the qualities, and you would certainly fit
I appreciate
those
that.
qualities. So, well, boy, this time sort of flew by.
Yeah, you guys are very good. It was great being here.
Oh, wow, we really appreciate you, Mark Gabbard and Jenni Burgamy, and the sweethearts, the fiancés, you're going to be married soon, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You look like a great match.
Thank you.
And she wants a high five, but it went down low. So I'm really
we like us.
Yes, I think that's important, and we really appreciate it. Sunburst Landscaping, you definitely want. Let's get some contact information out.
Yeah, absolutely. We have, like you mentioned before, we really do have an incredible website. www.sunburstlandscaping.com has a wealth of information. If you're interested in more information or free estimates, you can call us at the office at 623-412-2200. Anybody at the office, you're going to reach a human, not a machine.
Cool.
And we try to train everybody that answers the phone to at least have some of the basic answers to your questions. And then before they pass it off to somebody who can really delve into the details and the deep stuff with you.
Well, I'm excited. I'll be in touch with you for part 2.
Yeah.
And thank you. And if I don't see you before your wedding, have a great wedding, great honeymoon. You both are great people.
Well, thank
Very
you
professional.
very much.
Thank you for having us.
You're more than welcome. This is, of course, the Peoria Chamber of Commerce Radio Hour every first Wednesday of the month, sponsored by Breakthrough Thinking Broadcasting Network. Everyone have a great day.